What is going on, everybody? We are back once again with another edition of Wrestling Republic's Wrestling Off the Air. I've got the best crew in the business hanging with me tonight, post NXT, ready to break down everything that happened on this night's NXT. First out in Louisville, Kentucky, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Andre Drizzy Martin. How are you doing, my friend, on this fine Tuesday night?
Good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Your boy Drizzy is now on your screen. Hold them twos up. It is a new year, and we in this bit.
Let's go. Absolutely. And let's get those twos up. It's January 2nd. As you mentioned, too, it is Tuesday night, and we can't have a wrestling off the air on a Tuesday night without the Tuesday night delight himself from the DMV. Shad, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
It's your boy Dwayne the Ock Johnson, shot in the house. Tiffany Stratton, chapter leader himself for the fan club, Rio Stan. We in the building, man. Let's talk NXT.
Absolutely. I'm stoked to get into it. We got a bunch of comments too before we even get started. We got one from Anthony Manzano saying, "Hi, what's going on, Manzano?" Um,
Bob.
he also asks, can you guys see Shawn Michaels putting Obafemi in a faction with Tyreek Eway and Tyson DuPont? Honestly,
I don't know any of the people
I
that you
don't,
name really, bro.
I gotta admit,
They
man,
gotta they
I
gotta be level up guys.
I see Obafemi maybe squashing those names and then moving on to bigger and better things because from what I'm seeing from Obafemi, this guy's main roster to the
Obafemi,
moon.
Obafemi is gonna be in a faction with himself, his left, and his right. That's all he
Yeah,
needs. He don't need anybody else. He got it.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
talk. I'm excited when we get to talk about that. I ain't gonna lie. It's the Obafemi coalition over here. We claim that from the get go. So we ain't hop on the bandwagon.
Now we
We
told y'all from the
we've been
first.
conducting it, bro.
We told y'all when we
absolutely.
seen it. It was this
We
oh
got another comment here from the Sheldon Show, by the way. Evening, gents.
the
I
show.
believe that is David Sheldon, if I'm not mistaken. Good to see you, my friend, as
What you
always.
doing awake this late, sir? You past
What
your
are you
bedtime.
doing up? We
Past
got
your
an
bed, yeah. It's past your bedtime, kid.
we but oh love, by the way, hang in there.
Yo,
If you are staying up, you're welcome to hang with us.
It's all
But
right. Just fall asleep on the like button. Just it's all right. Just fall asleep on
exactly.
the like button. That's okay.
We got another one from Cool Gamer. Hello, what's going on, Cool Gamer? And then last but certainly not least, Bobby Batito. 2024 will be a breakout year for JD Parker and Tavion Heights in NXT. I don't
Mr.
doubt
Parker,
Bobby's opinion, man.
Miss Parker.
Bobby knows his stuff. Bobby knows
Hi,
his
Miss
stuff.
Parker.
Said I would finish it out, but Ben would have my head. So I'm doing better to not give Ben gray. I'm gonna do better this year not to give Ben gray hairs.
Oh man, he's
'Cause
too young for those.
I
He's too
know
young for those.
he watches when I'm on show. Oh my god, don't say it.
We're over here on off the air trying to keep Ben away from the Just for Men section at the grocery store for the time being. As far as hair color is concerned, we can't have him having a touch of gray even isn't enough. But let's get into our actual topics from tonight because it was a crazy show. It was a really fun show. In fact, let's start with our champion Ilya Dragunov, obviously hurt at the hands of Ridge Holland. Um, the story was told. We talked about it a little bit off the air before off the air, right? And to me, this is an unfortunate spot here for um Ridge Holland. And uh I thought this interview though actually did a nice job for what has already happened of at least giving him a chance in this spot. It was very disappointing shot. I see the smirk on your face. I'm gonna toss this one to you first. Um, Big E was not mentioned. I think this was a swing and a miss out of the gates, and I'm hoping personally that this is behind us, right?
Bro, I told so last week we spoke about the Ridge Holland uh storyline. I do not see the point of it. This little interaction that he had, his little 60 minutes telling his story, which is cool to see. I don't know much about Ridge Holland as a character, so it's cool to get a little bit of in-depth, see the adversity that he's gone through, but the story is him being a dangerous worker. They try to make it seem like we should have empathy for what has happened to him. You're not gaining empathy, and then yeah, they completely just flew past what the big reason why we were like, why did they do this entire gimmick is tied to what happened with Big E. So I mean, it wasn't something I'm still a fan of. I mean, it's cool to get Ridge Holland back on NXT. He wasn't really doing too much on the main roster after Sheamus got hurt. And yeah, Dragunov is out for this match. And I don't know, did you mention what the match eventually ended up being?
No, I was gonna get into that next.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Which of course is the we ended up with Grayson Waller versus Trick Williams, which is
Mhm.
exciting as could be. We still have the Trick Williams and uh storyline as far as being the number one contender. And I'm sorry, I was thrown off. We have a comment here. I'm gonna really just get this out of the way really quick. Anthony Manzano just asked about the terrible passing of boxing promoter Cameron Duncan. Yes, I'm a huge boxing fan, and that one is awful news. Obviously, yeah, wish the
That's
best. Like,
unfortunate. Yeah.
it's very unfortunate. Yes, and sorry about that. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that quickly. But main event of the evening tonight was Grayson Waller, Trick Williams. We have the storyline involving Trick Williams being not only number one contender for the title that is currently held by the injured Ilya Dragunov, on top of the tension that's been brewing over time between him and him, as we'd like to say, um, for the last few months. And yeah, Mello, you know, facials and everything as far as the end of the match, interesting. Trick Williams picks up the victory, a key victory, retains his number one contender status, and we got an awesome appearance out of Kevin Owens back on NXT, an absolute NXT legend. So first, we'll all give our opinions on the match, but Drizzy, I want to get your thoughts on the main event as a whole, and then the future of the Trick Williams and Mello storyline on top of the appearance from Kevin Owens.
The main event wasn't a bad match. Grayson Waller has shown that he's grown from his NXT days. I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't a big, like I said, it wasn't really a big matchup to sit there and just have you on the seat of your pants or anything. It told a good story. And also let Trick Williams build that sympathy. There was a segment a little bit earlier in the night where Mello's like, you have to practice how you play. And that's exactly what they did. And Trick, he went out there and threw everything he had at Grayson Waller. I definitely do think that this match, I wish there was a better way to go about it with the whole Ilya being hurt thing, but it served what it needed to serve. It's kind of like a bare minimum type thing. We don't want to give you too much, but we don't want to give you not enough. It's like we just filled your plate up just enough. You got to taste of everything, but you don't need the whole meal. So that. And as far as the Mellow Trick story goes, WWE doesn't do too many super long storylines. We've been on this storyline for the better part of maybe 4 months now, and we're getting to the part where everybody sees except Trick. Everybody else sees it. Everybody sees it. Mello is he's just one day away from just snapping and finally going off like we all know. He's the one who attacked Trick. I'm just we're ready for the climax. We're ready to make it happen. I guarantee I've been saying it for months now. Stand and deliver will be Trick versus Mello. If it's for the title, depending on what happens with our next topic, it ain't happening. It will be not for a belt. It will be Trick versus Mello grudge match.
Yeah, I agree. I think Trick versus Mello has to be the direction here. It's just one of those.
Yeah, we just need it to happen. It's
Yeah,
kind of more clear.
it's to me the most important match that can be made in NXT right now. It's the best rivalry that's being built. In my eyes, yeah. Shot. What were your thoughts on the main event match? And you agree as far as that is concerned?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta call a spade a spade. I do like the storyline and the initial build of it. I'm one that says that it's arguably be one of the best storylines in pro wrestling. I stand by that. I'm not gonna deny it, but I have to be fair in my analysis where it is starting to drag a little bit, where we are ready for the payoff to happen. I don't know how much more you can kind of build Mellow kind of beating around the bush, not, you know, trying to claim that shows signs that he is the person that attacked him, but also not do it. Like we need to kind of get a little bit with to Drizzy's point, like the climax of it. We need to get to it. They don't need to have a match right off the jump, but we can get that initial moment where he does say, I'm the one who did it. So I'm still invested in it. I'm still excited to see what happens. The main event was solid. I don't, you know, have a lot of issues with Grayson Waller taking the last second, match with him. I thought they had a solid match. I like the bleeding of different storylines with Kevin Owens coming back into NXT. It's always cool to see him on NXT. This is an NXT GOAT. And dealing with Waller. And then of course we got another, little wrinkle within what was Melo's intentions going in there. But Trick Williams is undeniable, bro. Like there's
He is.
nothing stopping him. The world is his oyster. The guy is going to be an undeniable superstar when he gets on that main roster because those chants that are so contagious on the NXT uh, arena is gonna be lit like that in the regular arena, man. People
Oh,
like catchy stuff like that. He's got charisma. He's getting very good in ring wise. Like I think he's a very good wrestler in the WWE stratosphere. So I think, hey man, I'm excited to see when he gets up there.
I mean, me as well. I mean, we were talking about on the pre-show. I mean, like, even the simple, like the turf tape, the Alvin Kamara look, like it just looks
I
cool.
hate turf tape.
I hate wearing it
Oh,
myself, but man, does it look cool. It looks so cool. Like Trick Williams has it beyond it, right? Like I know that Christian Cage is the former Captain Charisma, but like right now in my eyes, if there's a Captain Charisma as far as the NXT roster, it's Trick Williams because he's got
Yeah.
every bit of it, like
Hey
the,
man,
the entire thing.
I said it like I said it a few months ago. I feel like he's gonna be as big of a star as LA Knight is when he gets on the main roster.
100%. I agree.
And it's more long lasting because he's younger. He's like in his late 20s. He's gonna be a very over superstar on the main roster, whether that is a main card champion, whether that's a mid card champion. I don't know, but he's gonna have a place. Like he's got the it factor.
I completely agree. We got a few comments here too before we move along. We got one from our good buddy Bobby Petito, which is he enjoyed watching Grayson Waller on NXT. He's a fan of Grayson's work. Honestly, I am too, and I loved the way that he worked this spot and was able to mix in the Kevin Owens storyline. It was just kind of a nice touch, cameo-esque appearance. Like in my eyes, it worked perfectly right. It was like the nice little seasoning on the end of a fun match, and then you had like the real sizzle as far as the Trick Williams and Mello dynamic just being nudged along only slightly, but the tension is so there. I mean, Mello's face at the end, looking at the camera,
you're
clearly
right.
like disappointed while clapping, picking up the t-shirt. It was, it worked in my eyes. We've got another one from our good buddy David Sheldon, of course, from the Daily Broadcast, our good friend. And he said, if Dragunov is not being cleared is real, last minute and beyond their control, then it's a real shame. If it wasn't, it's blatant false advertising. I hear a little bit of that, David, but I will say, and this is going to sound cliche of me, but
The card
hard
is subject to change.
change. Thank you, Drizzy, for the
If
assist.
you're in wrestling, you know that.
There, Drizzy.
If you're in wrestling, you know those terms all too well. The card is subject to change.
Yes.
Plus, it's storyline driven. I mean, this is a weekly episode. Like they're gonna run those type of matches on a PLE normally, so it's not anything like super shocking to me. But I get David's point.
I do hear where he's coming from 100%. Was not trying to knock that, but I think that's kind of like the right. Yeah. I think we're all on the same page here. We've got a couple more comments here that are all great. We've got from Melon Playground 1678 smiley face. I'm here, Dre. What's going on? And then we've got another one from CJ Rich 84. Hey, Dre and everyone.
It's good, CJ.
And then shout out to CJ again from Melon Playground 1678. And
I know who that is. I know who that is now. Okay.
That's awesome.
I have no idea who that is.
Shout out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Absolutely, both.
David's
100%.
last comment's funny.
Yes. Let's shout that one out. I'll say this: Trick vs. Dragunov is the main reason I wanted to watch the show, so I did feel a bit cheated. David, that makes understandable.
The fact that you didn't watch the show to see Tiffany Stratton wrestle David makes me think a little less of you, buddy. So
no, David.
Talk about Tiffany Stratton, good friend of the show.
Yes, Tiffany, what up?
It was gonna be a heck of a show either way. We've got also like a bunch of comments over here on Instagram. Yeah. I'm not gonna be able to go through them all. I apologize. Coach 23, thank you so much for all the comments. Like they're good ones too, man. I'm going through. We're getting it's positive, and we appreciate all of them so much.
Oh, my boys in the comments on IG.
Someone
Apex
shouted
Lex.
out, "Shoddy, go watch." Yeah, Apex Lex. Shoddy, go watch the Iron Claw movie. Just watched it. Yes, it's a sad movie. Shout out. And
Great film,
and then there's a comment here about I feel from Black Alex. I feel like they shouldn't put The Rock in front of Cody. They should make it a 6-man match like the old days. That one's wild.
We can't read all these. That, man.
I'm sorry, guys. We got to get back to NXT. We appreciate all of them. Oh, by the way, and then my favorite comment, maybe of all time. Shout out you, Bobby Bettino. Thank you, man. You're the man. Okay, let's move on to our next topic though. Obafemi, Chase U, Osborne. I know we could break this down for what it is and all of that. I gotta admit, dude, Obafemi blows me away every time I see him and gets better every time. Whatever that choke slam into a backbreaker is, though, might be the most violent move as far as innovation is concerned, because we're seeing all kinds of innovations of various moves, right? Like LA Knight's finisher is kind of a facebuster stunner, right? Like you look at what Theory's doing, it's like the A-Town Down's kind of a
like a F5.
It's almost like actually like an attitude adjustment, like, and then the way that Styles used to do that suplex into the shoulder breaker, it's kind of like because of the knee part of it.
It's a weird
there's a lot of innovation. Obafemi, when he lifts you up for that choke slam and then across his own knee and the way it's delivered, the violence, to me, that should be the end of the match. And I really enjoyed this match. I'm not saying the pop-up powerbomb wasn't beautiful. The finish wasn't beautiful, that Osborne didn't deserve the extra time to get his chance to get the offense in. I just believe that move, simply put, should be absolutely lights out 1, 2, 3 because it just looks so good.
We watched Riley Osborne
video game X move.
We watched Riley Osborne die like 3 times in that match.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to see him go to the pearly gates ASAP though.
He was going up to He was going up to yonder.
Yeah,
and there was actually a point in the match where Obafemi, he didn't even do a move. He just picked him up and threw him. That was like he's throwing trash in the dumpster in the back. It's like out the window.
Another thing that really impressed me about Obafemi in this match that I enjoyed, immensely was it took 2/3 of the match to take him off of his feet,
Hmm.
Yes.
and it finally took basically like a counter and a trip and then a drop kick
Yeah.
to finally get him off of his feet. And I really appreciated that work out of him. That was, to me, that was just steps in the absolute right direction. Shad, what's your opinion on the future of Obafemi? Obviously, also,
So,
let's talk about the tag tournament
oh yeah,
and the fact that Osborne is teaming with.
which is crazy, right? Because I'll get to that real quick after this. First and foremost, the Obafemi showcase of this entire tournament has been phenomenal. Um, we had a mailbag Monday yesterday. We had an NXT topic. Salute to my good brother Brett who had the comment, but the comments were not agreeing with his great answer, which was Charlie Dempsey. But everybody was going for this Obafemi coalition that we done started, and man, this dude is an absolute monster, bro. Like he is a like very large gentleman. He's super athletic. He's super strong. He's got the look. Like this is just a ready-made superstar in the cut form, and they're gonna be fine, man. They're going. He's his trajectory is getting the NXT uh championship sooner than later. He will be the NXT champion in 2024. He's got the golden ticket to get to it. It's just a matter of time when it is his time to get it. But I can't see it being any time too far ahead in 2024. Maybe by summertime. Who knows? Maybe by the spring. So it's great. Riley Osborne. I said it before the match. I was like, I really, all jokes aside, saying I wanted him to get squashed in the second. The guy is a very solid professional wrestler. He sells like $1,000,000. He's got a nice move set. He can get airborne. And I was telling it to the guys over here. I was like, man, him being part of Chase U, I feel like his dynamic and style meshes really well as a tag team wrestler, and he'd be a good tag team counterpart for Duke Hudson. I feel like it would make a little bit more sense to have him as a tag team partner. Well, Miss JC Jane, the real head honcho here at Chase U, while Andre Chase is uh, at AA meetings and trying to get himself out of debt, hitting up FanDuel every second trying to make quick cash. She decided to line these two up for the tournament that we have for the tag team starting next week. I like it. I think it's gonna fit well. I think they can be a very good tag team. And I always love the fact that you keep a tag team that makes sense as a team because they're in the same faction. So I'm ready for that. And I think it's a good thing for him too.
100%, 100%. We got a bunch more comments here too on Instagram as well. Shad, we got our good friend Bobby Petito is on the Oba Femi train as well. He's also happy that he was the right choice to win the breakout tournament. And Lori Robinson added, "Hello, what's going on, Lori Robinson? Thank you so much for tuning in." But Drizzy, I want to get your thoughts too on Oba Femi and all of this. I mean, I think of anybody on the roster outside of maybe like Trick Williams and Mello and Breaker on the men's side of the NXT roster. I think Obafemi is as fast tracked to the main roster as anyone. Would you agree with that?
I absolutely agree 110%. I'm gonna let y'all just know. I'm gonna give y'all a look into the future of Oba Fett. Trick Williams is gonna win the NXT title from Ilya Dragunov at most likely the Vengeance Day PLE. And right after that, Obafemi is going to cash in his contract that he just won. And from there, Obafemi is going to go on probably one of the most historic NXT title runs of all time. I do not, by any chance, just fast track people like that. But if you look at this man, he has the look, he has the power, he has the charisma, he has the presence. How can you not look at him and not see money. If he's in NXT for longer than a year, he's gonna have that belt. He is going to be your draw. Obafemi is the future of WWE. I cannot wait until he's on the main roster. Imagine you getting the Royal Rumble. Obafemi has cleared everybody out, and he comes face to face with people like Brock Lesnar. When he comes face to face with people like Roman Reigns in a main event, Solo Sokoa, like this is a walking man. This is a walking piece of the future. We used to call what do we used to call Seth Rollins? He used to call him the future. Give that moniker to Obafemi now.
I love it, Jersey, and I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of like out of a movie. There's like a little like kind of wildlife reserve across the street from me where there's a lot of coyotes, and they all started howling towards like the end of you there all at once. So like, and I could hear them, and like it was
It's a
that
sport.
wasn't that was an all-time moment in show history there. I agree on the Obafemi train I'm in. I almost got goosebumps. It was sick. Like you had the
Yeah.
coyotes howl, the whole pack of coyotes howling in the background, and then Drizzy was
Hey man.
yeah, like
Hey
yeah,
man,
no.
if Roman want to break Bruno's record, let Obafemi break it. Get
Yes,
that title off of him in a
I'm with it.
couple years,
Oh, I
man.
can see it. They go, oh, big boy, big boy.
Oh, Bobby Petito comment wise here though. This is money. I'd love to see Obafemi versus Gunther one day on the main roster.
Oh, Gunther don't want to see that.
Yes.
Gunther don't want to see Obafemi.
Bro, I'm not like
Yes.
I swear like we're not trying to like gas him
No,
up, but like this dude is like really like you just look at him, you're just like, yeah, that they got one. They got one. They got
no,
one.
you looking at that one like, yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't gonna be here long.
Yeah, we are not joking around on that
That's
one, no doubt.
oh no, it's gonna be like
That
that. It's
Vinny.
gonna be like that Keith Sweat song. I'm not gonna be here for long.
Yes.
You know, that's my jam.
Okay, wait, we got 2 topics left. We got one comment that I do want to really quickly read though from Instagram, which is from Gopal Daga 01. Love from India, love back. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you so much. But
Love from Bangladesh, man, my Desi brother.
absolutely. Let's talk about
I get it
Lyra
right.
Valkyria, and then Davenport and then the Lola failed cash in. Let's talk about it, guys.
Hmm
I'm gonna toss it right back to you, Drizzy, immediately. Break the whole situation down for me here. What do you think about the women's title picture in NXT? I do still believe this is the best women's division in all of professional wrestling, and right this second, it's still that good.
Right this second, y'all know I'm Impact Wrestling's number one fanboy. Impact is number two to NXT's women's division. There's if you we didn't even cover the whole show. This show is littered with quality women's matches, and this is their main event for the women pretty much. Lyra and Blair Davenport, great workers, good match. I didn't see it going the way that it did go. I kind of thought that Lyra was going to be in a little bit more of danger than she was, but Blair, I can never say anything bad about her in ring work. Absolutely, just stellar as a performer and as a character. I do enjoy her as a heel. The the crazed fan in Tatum Paxley, who's kind of Lyra's. Oh, I guess we want to call her a guardian angel, kind of on the psycho side, but yeah, her guardian angel. And we also had the failed cash in of Lola Vice. She tried to come in to cash in her contract for the NXT Women's Championship, and thanks to that crazed guardian angel, she was not able to do that. I love that there's now you have a roster full of viable wrestlers who could take that belt from Lyra. On top of that, you have a rookie with a almost guaranteed shot at the women's title, can get it whenever she wants. The odds are in her favor. Lyra is has one of the biggest targets that a woman in the NXT that's been NXT champion has had in a long time. I don't think we've seen a target this big since Oscar was champion, and it's great. It it makes for must see TV because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if Lola's gonna pop up here. They defend the women's title on all three shows. Who's to say she doesn't show up on Raw one week and all of a sudden Lola comes out with a ref and cashes in there? It could happen at a PLE. You love the unpredictableness of the NXT women's division. You love that everybody is there. It all makes sense. Any of them can, from Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, Nikita Lyons, Lash Legends, Jakara Jackson, any of them are viable contenders for the women's title. And I love that when you have a healthy division that can survive like that.
I agree. It's one of those things where the idea of multiple challengers is so simple,
Mm.
right? But the ability to continually make us feel like at any time these 4 or 5 challengers can really legitimately not only win but carry the title, right?
This division is at least 10 women deep.
It's depth. It's the key.
More,
Yes.
more than 10 to be real
Yeah,
with you.
seriously, there are 10 women that at this moment it would make absolute sense for them to go after the title.
But the irony to me is it's not a roster contest because if you look at the main roster in WWE, there's depth. If you look at AEW, there's depth. If you look over in Stardom, there's depth. It's the way that the depth is booked,
Yes.
the way that characters are protected. It's the way that it does feel like legitimately 4 or 5 different women at any given time can not only be a threat to win the title, but carry it
Yes.
continually, right? Yeah,
That's the beauty of it though, because I feel like
that's the brilliance.
you keep things fresh when you do that. You have a revolving door of talent. And the thing is this, I think, and the reason I give a lot of praise and kudos to NXT is its reverse booking to what the men this is we see this booking for men's rosters on every television show on AEW Dynamite, Collision, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. Michaels is doing that same booking that we normally see with the men and the depth of the men, but he's doing it with the riches that he has in the women's division. And let's be real, it's not like he's making the talent has look like an embarrassment of riches compared to other shows that have an embarrassment of riches of talent that have been in wrestling a lot longer. He's working with people who are relatively brand spanking new to professional wrestling, and that's what makes good weekly programming, and that's what makes good storylines. Lara feels important because she's got to go against someone different every cycle of a feud, whether it be a 1 week feud, a 4 week feud, it doesn't matter. It brings value to it, and then other women are able to feud amongst each other. Like Blair is going right back into position with a feud with Nikita Lyons right after this. Lyra has a whole storyline ongoing with Tatum Paxley, who's doing magnificent work, and everything stays fresh. And that's what is the beauty of NXT, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree more. I think we're all in agreement here. And two, we've got a bunch of support over here in the comments really quick before we get on to our final topic of the evening. But we've got from the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. That's a true point, though. They've shown improvement and consistency. Couldn't agree more. We've got CJ Chris 84 with the yes and the hands emoji. Thank you. Yes. Or I'm sorry, CJ Rich 84. And then facts from Lori Robinson. Appreciate you both. And then I think next challenger for Lyra Valkyria is Lash Legend or Nikita Lyons.
Because we lash
Again,
it out
right?
with Lash Legend.
Multiple challengers. And then CJ Rich 84 again with the women are holding it down. Yeah, absolutely. And then how was the first woman to win a man's title? I'm sorry, that
China won that IC title.
China won the Intercontinental title, yes. And then who? It was China. China would have been the answer to that one. And then is here we go. Is Roxanne turning into a bad guy or do you guys think it's just going to be a tweener right now? As far as Roxanne Perez, what do you guys think really quickly before we go to the main event of the evening on
Me and
this?
Drizzy spoke about it. I think she's
Yeah,
going heel.
yeah, both the
I think
heel.
it's gonna be a little bit of some AJ Lee in her.
I don't really know. I don't really
Yeah.
know on that one.
CM Punk's illegitimate kids are gonna form a tag team and join to the main roster together.
I can see that.
CM Punk's kids, they are CM Punk's kids. If you look at them, Roxanne is AJ, Cora Jade is CM Punk. That's their kids. Call them the Punk family. Go ahead, set them up the Raw. That have
And
that for the women's tag division.
as long as
We need that.
he needs to if he presents them like as somebody that's tied to him, that's money for them on the main roster because they're gonna be people love CM Punk and if he's tied to him, they'll like him. So you see,
All right, Shad. I have one question for you though right now.
what time is it?
Are you ready?
Okay, go.
No, Shad. I asked you.
Am I ready?
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
God, it's time.
It's Tiffy
Tiffany
time.
time!
It's Tiffany Stratton. It's Fallon Henley. If you guys
Ugh. Fallon who?
have been tuning into
That
the show
You're a
late,
peon?
boss. You're a boss. That's who.
we
That
know
peon?
we are big fans
Ugh.
of Tiffany Stratton on this show, particularly Shad. No, no, but Tiffany also commented back on a reel. She may or may not be a fan of the show,
Mhm.
but I'll tell you what, we are fans of her. Shad, I'm going to toss this one to you first for the Tiffy time minute, and then I have to ask Drizzy about the match as well. But let's break
No,
it
this is pure blasphemy, bro. Like
down.
we're really going to allow this incompetent referee to work at such a slow slug pace of a mind where it got Tiffany out of position to fraudulently lose this match against Fallon Henley. What? And now she's got to be her peasant? Nah, man, this does not happen to someone like Tiffany Stratton. I advise Mr. Michael Hickenbottom to redo this match, and we need to have this injustice not happen because Fallon Henley, what does MJF call him? The poors? She is one of the poors. Like her father is a horrible businessman. He couldn't keep that bar running. She had to take blood money from Kiana James to get it back up and running. She completely demolished a faction with two great people in Brooks and Jensen. She is rotten to the core. Tiffany Stratton having to be the peasant for her? Nah,
Oh,
man, this is not fair. Imagine Tiffany Stratton getting mud in her manicure nails, on her Louis V dress, on her Louis Vuitton kicks, on her bloody shoes. Nah, man, we need to fix this. This is not right at all. I am truthfully, I didn't want to do the show today. I honestly, after that happened, I was about to take my ball and go home, and it just wasn't right. Um, I don't know, bro. It may be entertaining television, but if you think about it subjectively, this is not fair. Um, I'm gonna have to talk to someone's manager. That's all.
Shad, if they do a simple life scene where Tiffany Stratton has to work on the farm, though,
Like
you got to
you.
admit
What's
that would
that?
just be pure
Oh
You.
comedy.
man, get on her
You.
Paris,
Oh my
get
God.
on
Full
her,
blown
get on her
It's
Paris
cow
Paris Hilton and
udders.
Nicole Richie.
It's cow
Nah,
udders.
man.
Ew. What do you do with that? What's that white stuff? Oh my God. Oh.
Man, nah. This is not good, bro.
that is too funny.
I just need one picture of her falling in a cow pie.
Yes.
This is going to be great television. NXT's ratings are going to skyrocket because Tiffany Stratton is going to be in somebody's hog pen. She is going to be milking cows. She's going to be wrangling horses. She's going to be collecting eggs. She is going to be a flat out rancher. She is going to learn the definition of hard work. Fallon Henley is the definition of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and getting the job done. She out here doing the Lord's work. She is about to teach Tiffany Stratton how to be a hardworking member of society. And you know what? Tiffany's going to thank her at the end of it. It's going to make her a better person. You know why? Because that is what Fallon Henley does. She teaches. You see what she did with those two scrubs, Brooks and Jensen? And she made them into a viable tag team. Now she's about to make Tiffany Stratton a hard working member of society. Fallon Henley is for the people. Thank you, Fallon, for doing the Lord's work and making Tiffany Stratton learn how to milk cows, how to collect eggs, how to rake hay, how to take. In fact, can they get like a buggy or something and make Tiffany carry Fallon to market with it with a whole bunch of stuff on it? Can we do that? Who do I talk to about this? Do I talk to who do I talk to? I need to know about these things.
I hear you, Drizzy. And I totally hear where you're coming from on Fallon Henley, but I hate to have to do this to you right at a time like this at the end of the show, but I'm on Shad's side here.
Let's go.
I mean,
It's all
it's
right.
Tiffy or
Yeah.
die in my eyes.
She's
The
gonna
best
be
there
hot.
is,
Okay.
the
She's
best
gonna
there was, right? The excellence of
That's
execution.
absolutely, bro. Like
I
you
mean,
gotta
it's
we have to we gotta think about it like this, man. Like
we're talking about the class of
and I'm
professional
done with it.
wrestling as a whole.
Wrestling Republic. Do y'all want me to leave? Because I looked at these false polls that y'all had. Why
Well, if you
wasn't
did,
Tiffany
you'd be
Stratton
saying
Woman of the
toodles.
Year? Why didn't she not win Women of the Year? She
Uh,
was the best women's wrestler, period, last year, bro. Like
I had a
she's
hard
done.
time voting myself.
Come on, man. Like she's the best wrestler, period. Like let's
I,
be real with you, yo. Like we give all these props and praises to people like Roman Reigns. Come on, man. Roman got nothing on Tiffany Stratton. He will never be in the same class as Tiffany Stratton. Well, who
mm,
cares about an island of relevancy when you shop at the finest stores, man?
Okay, also, by the way, just a quick one. Manzano over in the comments. All love, bro, because we really appreciate your support. But, dude, it's a bit. We're having fun over here. We're joking
Anthony
around.
Manzano.
Yeah, dude,
Who's your favorite
we're
wrestler?
joking
Because that
around.
favorite wrestler is not better than Tiffany Stratton.
And then Lori Robinson in the comments with who's your favorite women's wrestler? If we're sticking with the
Tiffany
bit, it's
Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton.
Tiffany Stratton.
if we're
I
talking
just
about
broke the
right
fourth
now,
wall.
it's definitely not Tiffany Stratton. We are Team Lash Legend over here.
Lash
We are
Legend.
lashing out with Lash Legend
No,
all day, every
it's Stratton
day.
for me. I'm wearing a pink
Mm,
T-shirt.
Top
It's
metaphor.
Tiffany
Lori
Stratton.
Robin. Top 5.
Metaphor.
Tiffany Stratton 1. Rio
Stratton 2.
number 2.
Stratton 3.
It's all Tiffany Stratton and Rio are the only wrestlers I like
Stratton
ever.
4.
I don't like any other wrestler.
I think at 5 I've got Stratton. Yeah.
I got Tiffany Rio.
Oh, Nikita
got
Lyons. Nikita Lyons is up there too. Yeah.
Nah, Rio is better than
I do
Nikita
love Nikita.
Lyons, bro.
Honestly, I love all the women in NXT. Honestly,
But it-
women's wrestling
but
is
if
so
I
good right now.
if I had to give you my real answer, my favorite women's wrestler of all time is Bianca Belair.
Ooh, that is actually a great pick. Honestly, I think Tony Storm's doing as good a work as anybody. Just shout out Tony Storm while we're talking about a timeless. It's as good of a good character as we can talk about right now. And then I mean, yeah, like there's
And Becky Lynch too.
Becky Lynch has been on fire. There's Carmen
Mm,
Petrovic, Bobby
no,
Petito in the comments. I love that.
There's only, and we're running out of time, but there's only
Yeah.
one appropriate answer, and that is Trinity Fatu.
Oh, great call too. Trent is gotta feel the glow. You gotta feel the glow. But okay, with that does bring us to the end of the show this week. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. Please, every Tuesday night, tune in. Same thing. Comments. We appreciate everybody that was in the comments. We love you guys. Thank you so much. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. It helps us out immensely. So we can keep bringing you guys awesome comment. If you don't tune into the daily broadcast, check that out as well. That's going to be every day, basically at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. That's 8 over in the UK, 9 a.m. Hawaiian. And then, check out Take It to the Table as well. All of our stuff on the Wrestling Republic YouTube channel, as well as over on Instagram. And thank you so much. And we'll see you guys soon.